Top photo locations in Chicago 2019. As you know, Chicago has lots of choices, anything from the wonderful and famous skyline to gardens that make you forget you're even in the city. Many locations are under strict rules that require you to get a permit days in advance, although there are a couple locations where you and your entire wedding party can go and just spend time with your photographer without worrying about a permit. I have photographed in many of these locations and I have chosen the very top 10, and more, Chicago best places that everybody loves in 2019. Number 17, Chicago Botanic Garden, a must for the nature lovers. This very large garden has it all: trees, flowers, scenic bridges, Oriental and English gardens, as well as ponds. Whatever your heart desires, you find it there, including plenty of shade and open areas. Number 16, Morton Arboretum. It has lots of vegetation and beautiful backdrops. Endless flower beds and bridges make for great photos. Though my favorite location within the Arboretum is near the Thornhill Education Center. The Arboretum has lots of lakes and gardens, which only make it harder to pick the perfect location if you have a small time frame. Number 15, Baha'i Temple, located in Wilmette. It's somewhat of a drive from Chicago, but if your wedding is in the north suburbs, it's perfect. This temple is a beautiful building with great architectural detail. It is surrounded by gardens and 7 pools that make for a great backdrop. Number 14, Garfield Conservatory Park, lots of green, spectacular, beautiful green. This is the place that you go to if you want to have that wonderful, tropical look. It has 3 different large rooms and it's the ideal location for any occasion. Number 13, Montrose Beach, located in north side of Chicago. This beach offers a very large variety of looks. You'll find a little bit for everyone's interest. From the long piers to the great city skyline and great preserve, you'll get a different look for as many outfits as you'd like to change into. Number 12, Jackson Park, located right behind the Museum of Science and Industry. This has become one of my top choices mainly because of Garden of the Phoenix, former Osaka Garden, which is situated right in the middle of the park between the East and West Lagoon. Number 11, the Chicago Theater, located in the heart of Chicago. This great landmark is part of what makes the city great. If you have in mind to truly capture the heart and soul of this city, then Chicago Theater is a must on your list. Number 10, the Lily Pool, for the nature lovers. This small lily pond is a great place with a small waterfall and great background. I wouldn't suggest it for a very large wedding party as everything is very tight, but smaller ones would have great photographs here. Number 9, Millennium Park, Lurie Garden, beautiful gardens and very well-maintained natural looks. It has a beautiful Chicago backdrop as it's so tight and cozy that you can make it look like you're in a meadow. It's large enough to walk through and get great shots, but not ideal for large wedding parties. Number 8, North Avenue Beach. North Avenue Beach is a favorite among tourists and locals alike. It offers a great view of the city, north side of the city, not just from the pier, but from the boardwalk as well. A great plus is the lighthouse they have at the end of the pier, which makes for great photos. Number 7, the Bean/Cloud Gate. The Bean is one of the newest attractions in Chicago, and by far one of the most visited. Known by its official name as Cloud Gate, it is situated right in the heart of Chicago, on Michigan Avenue's Millennium Park. Number 6, Buckingham Fountain. For the summer season, this fountain is absolutely stunning, especially as a backdrop for a large wedding party. It has lots of space so that even if there are lots of visitors, you can still find a space to make it your own. Number 5, Navy Pier PFC Milton Olive Park. This is an alternative to the Chicago downtown skyline. You do not get the entire skyline, mainly the north side of town, Gold Coast, but you get enough for everyone to recognize it as Chicago, as you have the Hancock Tower and Ohio Beach in the background. Number 4, Chicago Riverwalk. One of my favorites, especially for large parties, is the spiral staircase that leads down to the Chicago River, as well as the new courtyard between the Trump Tower and the Wrigley Building. Number 3, Chicago Bridges and Streets. For all those architectural lovers out there, this is the best location for you to be. You get to have in the background some of the most famous buildings ever made. There are several little areas to take photos, but one of the most used is in the median of the street to get the image of North Michigan Avenue intersecting with Wacker Drive. Number 2, Lincoln Park. In this very large park, just about any place looks great, so you can either have a very nature-like feel to the photographs or even the skyline from different areas. It is hard to pinpoint an exact location, but I always seem to be drawn to the South Pond, where I find more room to stretch out if I go with a large wedding party, and it also is just as great if I'm with just the bride and groom. Number 1, Adler Planetarium. This location is one of the most popular for doing scenic backgrounds, for it has the incredible Chicago skyline and also the lake behind the planetarium as well as the beach, that make for a great alternative to the city. Also there are lots of trees and flowers, in the season, that make for great shade for the entire wedding party. There are many other locations in Chicago and Chicagoland area, however these are several of my favorites. Please check out my site for more examples of photos in each location. For more information, go to www.jayaphotos.com or call 877-927-7238.